This time on Hot Shots.
Heads up match with Jerry for all the marbles. He's probably the best shooter that's ever been on the planet. To beat Jerry, you've got to put your heart and soul in for years.
We know that there's been something that's lived in there. I've seen the mountain lion tracks. All right, so I got a Ruger 45. I'm gonna be very careful.
I've got to get my head in the game. Just can't do these things against the best shooters in the world. Man.
Okay, if this works, you're gonna see a new world record.
Every sport is defined by greatness.
I hold 4 Guinness World Records.
By those chosen few whose talent transcends their game.
That's how it's done.
They're the world's best.
So, you want to shoot fast, huh? I am the best.
The great ones.
There it is. Money.
The Hot Shots. In the heat of a world-class competition, the pressure can become suffocating. Especially if you're out to make a name for yourself, and the one thing standing in your way is the greatest revolver shooter who's ever lived.
Tough day in a sand pit. I'm about 5 points behind. I'm about to lay it all on the line here, so I got to go wide open on everything.
It's the final stage of the final day in the revolver division at USPSA Handgun Nationals in Las Vegas. And Jerry Michalek, an 8-time national champion, and perhaps the most accomplished all-around shooter in history, is 5 points behind Matt Griffin, a 39-year-old software engineer from Kentucky.
To beat Jerry, you've got to put your heart and soul in for years. I mean, the money and the time and the practice, no vacation days go anywhere else but shooting.
But there's no amount of practice or passion that can prepare you for a moment like this. Experience can help, but Matt Griffin has been shooting for just 5 years, and only 3 with the revolver. Still, he's positioned himself to take down a legend.
This is pretty much a heads-up match with Jerry for all the marbles.
Second place sucks, you know, so pay scale ain't good there either. So that's where I'm at right now, so I'm going to go a little fast.
The stage is called Better Aim. It features a total of 18 targets. And after 3 grueling days of shooting, it's about to determine a national revolver champion. As passionate as extreme sports shooter Patrick Flanagan is about shooting, he might have even stronger feelings for the spot where he'll soon build a home for his growing family. His land is an hour's drive from Mount Rushmore and just a few miles outside the legendary Old West mining town of Deadwood, South Dakota.
This is it. This is the history, and this is where the legends were born. This is the historic Black Hills of South Dakota all around us. And I bought this piece of property because of the historic value that lies within this hill that we're standing on, within these trees. I'll find myself up here caught up in a moment of just emotion, thinking about who came here before me. You know, the Indians that have crossed through here, the earlier settlers, Seth Bullock, Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane. This is where my homestead will go, and this is where my children will play, and this is where I hope to leave my memories and my legacy.
Chances are it will be a legacy that includes a collection of new world records. Later, Patrick is scheduled to be at Deadwood's Gun Club to attempt his latest. 8 clay targets, thrown, then shot individually with one hand from the hip. But so enamored is Patrick with his new piece of property and the rich history inside it that world records are the furthest thing from his mind.
In the property that I own, this hill, there's like 7 mines something ridiculous like that. A couple we have yet to find, but we've got information on. This was a trail that was used and accessed by miners years ago. These guys would come up in these hills and just be like, hey, this looks like a good spot, let's blow it out with dynamite and see if we can find gold. And these guys came up into Dakota territory, you know, probably with some form of firearm, I'm hoping, for protection, against not just, you know, at the time, Indians protecting their lands, but the wildlife up here, the mountain lions and all the different threats that did lie up in these hills. And this is one of those trails that these guys used to get up. And right here to the left is a mine that some guys decided to make in the side of the hill. I've never been in it. I don't really care to go down in there. We know that there's been something that's lived in there. I've seen the mountain lion tracks. I know you're all sitting there going, what a chicken, I'd go down there, I'd do it. I've done that too, I've said the same thing. But when you're looking into a black hole that you can just see goes down in there, you know, nerves get going a little bit. All right, so I got a Ruger 45. I'm gonna be very careful. Wow, man. Guys actually went down in those. Isn't that something? Just kind of neat to think of the old wagons and the guys that came through this looking for that almighty, valuable mineral, gold. Is gold a mineral? I don't know. It's worth money, I know that. So for any of you that are history buffs, you understand the feeling and the excitement you get when you're in a place like this. So I can call this home now. That's awesome.
Still ahead, he's on the verge of a national championship, but he's nowhere to be found.
We're looking around, Max isn't there. It kind of baffled us.
Hot Shots is presented by Cheaper Than Dirt, America's ultimate shooting sports discounter, and sponsored by Daniel Defense, lighter, stronger, better. Mossberg and the 930 JM Pro, the official shotgun of Jerry Michalek. Colt, champion three-gunner Clint Upchurch shoots the Colt CCR Pro. And by Freedom Munitions. Freedom starts here. Hot Shots proudly support the National Rifle Association. We'll even pay $10 of your new or renewing NRA membership when you sign up through HotShotsTV.net. He's the defending Open Division champion. But entering the final day at Handgun Nationals, Casey Eusebio is disappointed in his performance.
Fudge. I was so concerned about shooting around the barrel, I forgot to reload. Just making small mistakes here and there, and they add up. You just can't do these things against the best shooters in the world. I've got to get my head in the game. I just got to come back. This isn't acceptable. I came here to win. You're not going to win doing these things. I might do paper, steel, activator, steel, swing.
But his mistakes are mental and correctable. And his top 5 standing means he's still very much alive.
Definitely in contention to still win. I'm in striking range still. I'm not counting anything out. Just nervous right now. Still got 2 more stages.
Already, though, it's shaping up to be an unusual finish. Max Michel, who has a healthy lead as he tries to win this event for the 6th time, is nowhere to be found.
We're looking around at the squad, and Max isn't there. You know, he's pretty much winning it by maybe 30 or 40 points at the moment, and we're like, where's he at?
Turns out Max's wife had gone into labor in New Orleans, and Max was allowed to shoot his remaining stages early in the morning before rushing to the airport. So the rest of the shooters are suddenly left without a match leader to keep their eyes on.
Max has got a giant lead on me, though. 40 points. From a competitive standpoint, it kind of baffled us because you want to know what the first place guy is doing, how he shot a stage, did he do well, did he mess up? So that was definitely a challenge for us.
Plainville, Illinois. Population 243. And one of them is among the greatest exhibition shooters alive.
Plainville, Illinois. Well, I've lived here almost my whole life. Basically, it's an intersection with a congregation of houses. There's not even a gas station anymore. Plainville's tiny, and I actually live on the outskirts of Plainville, and we have a 200-acre farm that's been in the family since the 1800s.
This is where Randy Otker lives with his parents and younger sister.
A lot of people have a 9-to-5 job. Well, the farm is never ending. Whether it be if a crisis happens in the middle of the night, you have to get up and get on it, because the work never ends on the farm.
Only when it slows down can he switch his attention to his shooting career. But even then, he's often reminded of who he is and where he lives.
Maybe he's gonna break down in front of us. Or he might just want to talk, I don't know.
Randy already has 4 entries in the Guinness Book of World Records, with his latest being hitting 7 balloons with 7 arrows with 1 shot.
The things that I've accomplished, I've changed history in archery. It's stuff that's never been done before. Almost. That's good, that's good.
Now he's ready to make a run at world record number 5. 8 balloons with 8 arrows with 1 shot. And if ever there were a time for luck to be on his side, this is it.
Okay, if this works, you're gonna see a new world record. If not, back to the drawing board.
It's an uncomfortable moment for the great Jerry Michalek.
Follow the marbles.
He's in a spot he's not used to, second place, as he gets ready to shoot the final stage in the revolver division at USPSA Handgun Nationals in Las Vegas.
If I hit it, I might make a few points and maybe take home the trophy, so see what happens.
The match leader, Matt Griffin, knows it's likely he'll still need to shoot the stage of his life to win.
He's probably the best shooter that's ever been on the planet. But sometimes the stages suit you, and it goes right. You can edge past.
Are you ready? Stand by.
As Jerry begins his run, Matt does all he can to not pay attention. Jerry's time, 22.48 seconds. But there's a problem. USPSA rules require 2 hits on a paper target. Even though Jerry believes his second shot likely passed through the first hole, he's penalized for a miss, which will make it that much harder for him to catch the leader.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Matt's time is almost 3 seconds slower than Jerry's.
How's it looking? Good. I don't know what Jerry shot it in, though. I'm sorry, Pete. What's your time, Jerry?
22.
Yeah. Who knows? It's anybody's ball game. Got to do the math.
The complexity of USPSA scoring means a calculator is usually required. And unofficially, it appears that Matt Griffin has pulled off the upset.
I think so. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, Matt. Sure.
If it's how it works out, I'm not counting anything till I hear it official.
I still don't know if that's a mic or not, but they give it to me as a mic. The other target was close, so we'll see. Maybe they got some error. I got to go do the fine math now.
If I've made it over the hill, it's going to feel pretty darn good.
But the upset will have to wait another year. When the official numbers come in, They show that after 3 full days of shooting over 20 stages of fire, Jerry Michalek has eked out a win by less than half a point.
This is it. This is world record day. The first attempt, I guess their first real attempt, after a significant injury to my back.
It's been just 2 months since that painful afternoon in his hometown of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And his doctors think it's far too soon for Patrick Flanagan to be thinking about a comeback, much less a world record attempt that's sure to put him at further risk.
8 clay targets thrown up in the air, individually shot with one hand from the hip. I'm not 100% by any means, but I don't think I need to be 100% to set this world record.
Throughout history, elite athletes have found ways to block out pain and perform at their peak. That's the challenge Patrick will undoubtedly face on this 35-degree South Dakota afternoon.
There's nothing more exciting for me to be out here just outside of Deadwood, up in the legendary Black Hills, getting ready to make my historical mark on this area by setting a world record. This is my new home. So what better time to make your mark than now? So let's do this. Just to stretch out, make sure everything's working. 2 clay targets, one hand. Stuck together, makes my life easier. Let's try 3. How many we gotta get?
There are few things Patrick detests more than wasting time. So despite his sputtering start, he's jumping straight to world record territory.
Here's 8. I just gotta start throwing it so I can get comfortable with it. All right, I can make that work. Two with the same shot. This shot is extremely tough. 8 clay targets thrown in the air with one hand is tough enough, but to shoot them from the hip with one hand is absolutely extremely crazy. And when you've got a herniated disc and 2 bulge discs and you don't have the strength that you'd like to have to do this type of a routine, it makes it that much more of a challenge. But confidently I say, I don't think I need to be 100% to make this happen. We'll find out right now.
Hot Shots is presented by Cheaper Than Dirt, America's ultimate shooting sports discounter, and sponsored by Daniel Defense, lighter, stronger, better. Mossberg and the 930 JM Pro, the official shotgun of Jerry Michalek. Colt, champion 3-gunner Clint Upchurch shoots the Colt CCR Pro. And by Freedom Munitions. Freedom starts here. Hot Shots proudly support the National Rifle Association. We'll even pay $10 of your new or renewing NRA membership when you sign up through HotShotsTV.net. With 2 stages to go at Handgun Nationals, defending champion Casey Eusebio knows he'll need to be perfect to overtake Max Michel, who's rushing home for the birth of his daughter. But though Casey is normally one of the most self-confident shooters in the world, something isn't right as he steps to the line on his second-to-last stage.
Just really nervous for some reason. It's not really difficult. It was a pretty simple stage. I believe the furthest target was maybe 20 yards.
Stand by!
There wasn't any weak hand. It was just freestyle, and then you reload and you shot strong hand.
If you're finished, unload, show clear.
I couldn't hold it together. I had, I believe, 2 penalties and a pickup shot, so maybe 3 or 4 penalties. It was, I don't want to remember it, but it was just really bad. I don't understand what happened. I felt like it was an out-of-body experience. Felt like someone else shot for me. It truly is embarrassing. But then,
What happened, Case?
The gods are looking down on me right now.
Tell me what happened.
I guess a piece of tape fell off and I get a reshoot. I got extremely lucky, and one of the pasters fell off the target. And the range officer goes, "Well, Casey, it's your lucky day, you get a reshoot." And I was like, oh my God. Basically, I shot probably the worst run you could possibly have on that stage, and I guess a piece of tape fell off and they said I get a reshoot, so whatever they say I do. So this is my second chance. I have to take the reshoot. I'm gonna try to take full advantage of it. I'm on the line, ready to shoot.
Stand by.
And
If you're finished, unload, show clear.
it goes horrible. The same thing. Way to drop the ball, you know, just can't get anything right. Felt like the whole match was like that.
Man.
You know, I was given this opportunity and I still couldn't capitalize on it. Horrible. A lot of weird things happening today, definitely.
Casey finishes in 141st place on the stage, extinguishing his last hope of catching Max Michel.
Just devastating, just devastating. I felt my heart just drop to my stomach, and I didn't even want to turn around and look who was watching. it was just really embarrassing.
He still manages a third-place finish overall. The new national champion, meanwhile, learns of his victory in a hospital room 1,700 miles away.
I'm happy for him. I truly am happy for him. Of course, at the end of the day, I want to win. You know, I want to be the champion. I want to be up there holding the cup, holding the trophy, having the title. But I'm happy for him, especially since he has a new baby girl. So congratulations, Max. But next year, you know, it's going down.